Just recently, the National Grade 6 Assessment NGSA results were announced. A number of top-performing places at several public schools have stood out. To this effort, our top students were constantly in the spotlight. As the light shone on them, we heard many of their stories which led to their successes. In communities of Alboistang, Sophia, and Agricola, there are several students who might have not been in the top 10 but have done exceptionally well. Those students have not been in the spotlight, so this week on Guyana 411, we will tell you the success stories of those students. I am Delon Sanko. Stay tuned. Persons are not always defined by where they were born or the circumstances of their birth. In Alboistang, there are a lot of hard-working and industrious citizens who are proud parents of successful children from the recent NGSA. Some of these parents worked double jobs and spent sleepless nights with their children so that they could become successful. Let us take a look at some of these success stories.
11-year-old Demetrius Drupe is a student who lives in Alboistang who gained a position at Guyana's top school, Queen's College. Demetrius is from a working-class family, so his upbringing has had various challenges at various times. These challenges, coupled with the fact that Alboistang is commonly known as a ghetto community, were additional strains added on Demetrius. However, this did not stop Demetrius from rising to the top. He worked tirelessly and made several sacrifices, and he is the top 6th student in Region 4 for the NGSA. This successful youth explained to InfoHub what led to his success.
My biggest motivations were my parents, my family, and my friends from school, and also Mr. Success. I prepared a timetable to make sure once an hour every subject. So I did science first, then maths, then social studies, then English. I always did English last because I was a little hard-knit, so I put an hour and a half in it. When I get older, I'm thinking to go to study overseas and become a physicist. I'm going to study hard, practice a little sport just to help me with thinking, especially chess, and I'm going to listen. Let my parents help me with everything I can.
Demetrius is extremely grateful for his accomplishment. He does not see his hometown as a hindrance to any child from fulfilling their dreams. His encouragement to other children in communities that may have negative stigmas attached is,
it doesn't matter which community you're from or what house you live in or what is your parents' occupation. It just matters that as long as you study hard, keep focus, practice.
This competitive young man is the son of proud parents, Devita and Walter Drupe. Devita noted that the upbringing of Demetrius was no easy task. She highlighted the pressures of keeping him indoors or looking for activities to keep him occupied for him to stay focused on school and positive activities. Demetrius's dad, Walter, highlighted his son's ability to retain information at a very young age. He supported his son every step of the way and is very proud of his son.
I am very excited. Words cannot express the way I feel. Because knowing that you come from a community that is depressed or people have it down as a bad, stigmatize it. But I tried to work hard with him and give him the best I could and make a lot of sacrifice towards his education. Well, I make sure he go to school every day, support him with his books that he needs, his textbook, work with him with his homework. Any activities the school have, we support him. You know, we give him the best we could because I grew up a hard way. It's not easy growing up in Alboistang. I went to not so good primary school. And, you know, I try to give him the best that I could.
Walter Drupe is 37 years old and works 2 jobs to maintain his family. Walter said he lived his entire life in Alboistang, which was not easy. He noted that though the community is known for its negative, it can also be known for its many successes.
Not because you come from Albastown. Always give your children a support. Education is important. My mom always used to say, you cannot give a child silver or gold, but give them a proper education. And education is the key to success. I always support the children, even though if you can help them an hour or 2 hours, even half an hour with their homework, look at their school work, look at their school books. Make sure that they do their work regularly and study. Yes, they can play sometimes, but support them with their education and their schoolwork.
Meanwhile, in another street in Albastown lives 11-year-old Daniel Robertson. Daniel is also a success story for the Albastown community. Here is Daniel's success story.
I attended Success Elementary School. I earned 515 marks at the NGSA assessment, and I will be attending Queen's College. I gave up my phone, my computer, television, and my games, and I studied a lot, sleepless nights, and early mornings studying because I just wanted to get the Bishop's High School, but instead I aimed for Queen's and I got Queen's. And I'm very happy that I got Queen's, which is the highest school possible to get. And that's why I told my mom that I didn't want to get a transfer to Bishop's. My mom, my dad, my church family, my aunts, grandmother, grandfathers. My grandfather, who died, told me that he wanted me to get Queen's College, and I'm glad to say that I fulfilled his dreams. I know that I have to work hard to become a pediatrician, so I decided that I will not follow the wrong doing and I will follow the right path so that I can become what I want to be. My mom was always behind me that since I was a player group, that she wants me to be the best that I can be. And when I reached in grade 5, she said, you know that the next grade is whereby you have to work extremely hard, even harder than you did in grade 5. And everyone else was behind me, telling me that I have to work a little harder, study a little harder, and give up things and so forth. My father, he encouraged me that he would like for me to do good. He always said that he wanted me to be the first in the country, but he said if I didn't get that, he would wanted me to get one of the top 5 schools, which I did. It was great that I could have made my parents proud, my family proud, and collected a trophy, and for doing well and coming out in the top 1%, and it felt great that I could have stand there and say, well, I got Queen's College, and receive a cheer from everyone in the audience. I felt great.
Danielle's mom, Kenesha Robertson, is overjoyed at her son's performance. Like the Drupes, growing up in Albastown is very challenging. Robertson echoed that the stigma attached to Albastown is indeed not good, but she was always determined for her family to be different and stand out against the odds. Today, she is reaping the fruits of her labor.
Growing up in Albastown, it's a little difficult because of the atmosphere there, the persons you have to encounter day to day, the stigma that is out there in public regarding the area. However, I always determined in my mind to be different, to stand out. And the same thing that I have in mind for myself, I teach the same values to my children. So I would always tell Daniel to stand out, to be different. Of course, going through school life from playgroup up to grade 6 wasn't easy with him because there are times when I have to have him inside and he would always question, why is it, Mom, you have me inside? Why is it I can't play like the other kids and so? And you would have to constantly explain to him that you don't want him to turn out like the other kids. You want him to be different. And in the long run, we got the good results. We made a lot of sacrifices in terms of time, finances and everything, because there were times when we wanted things for ourselves, myself and husband, And we had to sacrifice that for Daniel so that he can have all the support and everything, all the materials that was needed for his excellence. Coming down to the ending part for the exam, it was more tight for him because we take away almost everything from him, games, everything. And he had to attend school more because he had extra lessons at school as well as at home. We tried to get tutor for him to give him private tutoring as well. So we poured everything we could have so that he can be excellent at the end, he can excel and gain the top school. Of course, Daniel wanted Bishop's High School, but he gained the position at Queen's College. Yes, when I mentioned to him if we can transfer him, now he's saying no. But myself, husband, and the entire family circle, relatives abroad, and even here, we are all proud of him. And this is just the beginning of a new journey. I also told him that. And we're going to push so that I'll be talking some other time on TV again with him having maybe 18 distinctions or grade ones. I'm going to work with him continuously.
Setting goals is the most important thing you can do in your life. Without goals, you are going to have no direction, no ambition to be successful, and no drive to stay in school. Kanisha said that setting goals for her son also saw him being successful at the NGSA, and she encourages parents to do same.
My advice to parents is to spend time with kids, pour out in them. They're the future, we need to invest in them. I guarantee you, investing in children, you would not lose. I am an example of that. And another thing, when our kids go off to high school, don't give up on them thinking that they're adults or they're teenagers and they can handle themselves. We need to push with them. We need to work with them, study with them, give them the support, and they will make us proud.
Councillor for Constituency 10, under which Albaiston falls, Malcom Ferreira, who has been very instrumental in training youths in Albaiston, is extremely proud of these students' accomplishment. Ferreira said he is looking to reward these children and others who have made their communities proud.
I'm very much proud. Congratulations to Demetrius Drupe, Daniel Robertson, and every other child from Constituency 10 and Georgetown that wrote the National Grade 6 assessment recently and got your results out. So we're looking to reward these children with laptops and gears for school, and we have to. We have to. If we don't, we will be failing. And as the elected official for the area, education is just about at the top of my list. So I will do what's in my power, with help from others, to ensure that we can push these children to get not only Demetrius and Daniel, but every other child that has an inclination for learning, especially bookwork, to help get them towards the book.
Malcom was also a success story. He too was once the top student for his community, Albaiston. He explained the pressures and struggles he too faced while growing up in Albaiston and how he successfully triumphed.
I was a top student from Albaiston. I got President's College. No one highlighted it. So we have to highlight them. We have to let people understand two things. Like Daniel's mom said, they're happy to let people know that good things can come out of Albaiston. And the second and even more important part in my estimation is for the children in Albaiston, Charlestown, Buxton, Tiger Bay, wherever you name them, could see someone from a similar or the same community become a high flyer and achiever and excel. And that's the greater part, because growing up in these areas, if you don't have the good support network and you don't know how to sift out advice, you can believe or be led to believe that you're not good enough. You shouldn't be a doctor. You should just think about, you should be a thief. You shouldn't be the president. You know, you should be a prostitute. That is what is the cloud of stigma and discrimination that hangs menacingly over such a society. I never settled for being second. I hardly got second in class. In primary school, I was a sheer fuss, right? So I never settled for second. And that allowed me to, look, I may not be able to wear your latest boots at that time or have the most lunch money or anything like that. But you better believe when the term finishes and we tabulate, when Malcom Ferreira is at the top of the class, oh, that's gratification. coming from a poor family. You think you have an idea of what my reward would have been for getting first in President's College and topping class coming through, 90-odd%. When from a poor family, when you get that, then my reward used to be a Chinese food. Serious. That's what my mom could have afforded. And she used to save for buy it from her weekly salary. I remember one year, we had forced all 3 terms. And we walk and we go on Camp Street and we buy this Chinese food.
So you see, Albaisang has good products after all. While it is plagued with many challenges, there are notable success stories in Albaisang. It can become one of Guyana's more appealing communities.
Many of you may know Patterson, Turkine, commonly called Sophia. In this community, several students are being celebrated for their hard work at the recent NGSA. In this segment, we will look at what led to some of their successes and how they overcome the odds.
A total of 13,329 students wrote the recent NGSA from all 10 administrative regions. More than 60 candidates of the top 1% are from public primary schools. Atia Thompson, who hails from Sophia, is being celebrated in our community for her great work during the NGSA. Atia said all her hard work has paid off, and though she hasn't gotten the top school of the country, she is still grateful for her accomplishment.
I attend Sophia Primary School. I got 460 when I wrote Common Entrance, and I will be going to Brigham Secondary School. I had to pick up my book often, study with understanding, understand every concept, especially some subject areas. When I go into secondary school, I would like to take in my education properly and be a better woman in society. I would like to become an air hostess or an environmentalist, but mostly an air hostess, because I would learn to speak languages, visit different countries, and know about different countries.
Atia's dad, Sean Thompson, stood by her throughout this journey. Students who have attentive and involved parents tend to get better grades. Giving support to a child will make them more likely to pass from grade to grade. Without parental involvement, unless a child is self-motivated to go to school and do their work, it will be difficult to pass to the next grade level and in time graduate. Sean Thompson is overjoyed at his daughter's performance. Thompson noted that he has been working hard with his daughter every step of the way. He also made several sacrifices with his daughter, and they have all paid off for greater good.
I feel great. I'm overwhelmed to know that I've grown and I actually see a seed of mine, writing exam and, getting a good school or a good grade, because many people haven't come this far. You understand? Many people can't afford to train, study and develop on a level or so on and so. But I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for her. And our preparation when she came from school, we had a lot of work to do. Maths, English, you call teachers, you study with her, you try to fit in certain things, and prepare a lot. You have to give her a lot of tonics and these things to keep her brains going, But the overall assessment of it, I'm happy about it. I really appreciate what she did, and I'm looking forward for more development from her.
Extracurricular activities are important because they can benefit a student through personal, educational, and even social means. It is a great idea to get more students involved in extracurricular activities, and parents should begin to give their children a little push to get them more involved. Tiffany Johnson, another student who made her Sophia community proud, noted her involvement in extracurricular activities, which has not hindered her focus during the NGSA. She also had the support of her family.
I play cricket, I play football, different sports I play. Right now we are playing the finals. We're training to play the finals at the National Gymnasium for cricket, and we are hoping that we win. I used to play football at the ministry ground, which I was just a normal player, but I played an important role.
And different sports, every sport that passed by, I played except like swimming and so on. I take part in for the school. When I come home in the afternoon, I did my homework. I spend like, let me say, an hour on my book. Then I go and catch a couple of rest. I wake up like 4:30 in the morning, and I study over my work, every little subject that I had a hard time with the part during the past day. And that's how I cope, make sure I understand, and then I prepare to go to school. There was my parents. I had one coach that also pushed me, encouraged me that strive for excellence, and some of my friends too, and my teachers that try their best. I was thinking about being a aerosis, but my main focus was on being a midwife.
Why you want to be a midwife? Tell me.
Our society is, different teenage pregnancies going on, and you realize that what is going on, right? So I just want to, at least you make the mistake, at least when it's time to deliver, I could be there to help you through.
In the words of an unknown author, it's not where you start, it's where you end up. You haven't fulfilled until you've stopped trying.
We all want to see our children growing towards success. This is only possible through a sound education. Most parents tell their children from childhood about the importance of education in the life and the advantages of education to better study in the future. Many persons believe that students from rural schools mostly receive an education that is inferior compared to students that live in the urban areas. These students from All Boys Town, Sophia, and Agricola has defined the odds, and today they are successful students who are confident they will become successful in life. We have come to the end of another edition of Guyana 411. Join us next week for another production as we keep you informed. I am Delon Sanko. Have a great week.